Hello everybody, welcome back to Making It Up. I'm Isa and it is currently wedding season. So if you've been looking for a makeup look that's gonna look great no matter what you wear, no matter if you're wearing a dress, a pantsuit, a skirt, anything, I got you, babe. I went to a wedding a couple of weeks ago already and I created this super easy, classic, fail-safe makeup look that just enhanced my features, made me feel more confident, but it was nothing crazy. And I think it's a look that is gonna be easy to recreate no matter your makeup skills. So if you're not great at makeup, I think this can be very easy for you. It's just very soft, glam, nothing too crazy. So if you're also a wedding guest this year and you're scrambling for a makeup look, this is a video for you, my friend, because I'm about to teach you my fail-safe, soft glam wedding guest makeup look. I'm gonna do my eyes first today because of fallout and everything, but before I do that, I'm just gonna do a bit of a primer for the face. I'm using this e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This was limited edition a few years ago, but I think they actually came up with this formula, and it's like the sticky, the grip primer, I think that's the name of it. I don't usually go for a primer on my day-to-day, but at a wedding, I definitely want it to last. And this is just very hydrating, but it also grips my makeup. I have this huge zit right here. Did I pick it a little bit? Yeah, it was an under the skin zit and I brought it up to the surface and I'm regretting everything because it hurts so bad. I can barely even touch it. So this is gonna be a fun day for me. And I'm gonna do a bit of lip balm just to make sure the lips are prepped. I'm using the Bloom Effects Tulip Tint in Petal Pink. This is a lip and cheek balm. It's very nice. I'm testing it out currently. And it is more of a matte balm. It's not super glossy or anything, but it gives a really nice color to my lips. And it feels nice. There we go, now we're moving on to the eyes. But first things first, brows. Ever since I did that Katie Jane Hughes makeup look, I am just doing my brows before everything else. I'm going in with the Nabla Brow Ambition Micro Stroking Brow Pen and adding just a bit of this to my brows. I want to be very careful. I don't want to overdo it with the eyebrows, but I just want to shape them better and fill in any blank spots where there's no hair growing. To set, I'm doing a combo. I'm doing a bit of the e.l.f. Brow Lift and the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. So these two, very different products, but the combination just makes everything last without looking too crunchy-dunchy. First going in with the e.l.f. If you don't have unruly brows, you can just stop here. I think the e.l.f. gives my brows a really, really nice feathery look, but I just want the brows to stay in place for as long as possible. That's why I'm going the extra mile, and I'm probably going to be doing that a lot in this video to make things last longer because that's the goal. Just add a thin layer of this to the brows. And there we go. Now that the brows are done, let's head straight to the eyes. Obviously priming with the Makeup Forever Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the original. It's so lovely, and I definitely want a primer today because again, we want things to last, we want things to not crease, we want things to look as good as possible. And today I'm just going to be using neutral shades, so I grabbed my favorite neutral palettes. If you don't have these, grab whatever you have that's neutral. Don't worry about what I'm using, just use similar products that you own already. I'm going to be primarily using my Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. This I just think is the perfect wedding palette for some reason. I love the shimmers, and I might grab into another palette if I feel the need to because this one doesn't have a black. For starters, I'm just gonna set everything with the lightest shade here, this one right here, and I'm gonna set my lids to make sure everything else on top blends seamlessly. And this is gonna be a nice base. Then before going into any more eyeshadow, I'm gonna go with a brown liner, and I'm starting out in the waterline, or the tight line, I should say, and I'm just gonna do this along most of the eye, I would say, stopping before I get to the inner corner. And then I'm gonna grab the exact same liner and just add it to the outer corner of my eye, just messily. And I'm just blending it in with a finger. You could blend in with a brush, but this is gonna just act as a base. I will want most of the darkness that I'm gonna be applying later to be on the outer corner. So that's what we're, laying a base down for. Okay, so now we're getting into the good stuff. I'm going back in with the Mario palette, and I'm grabbing a bit of this shade, which is a taupey shade. I'm just gonna add this all over my crease. This is gonna be kind of like a transition shade of sorts. So I don't have to be super precise with it. I'm keeping my eyes open as I do this to make sure that as I'm, you know, doing my makeup, if I'm looking straight at people, you can actually see the makeup. It's not hiding under all the folds of my eye. And I'm adding the same color to my lower lash line. All of the lower lash line. Okay, now we're getting into the outer crease, and I'm gonna go in, I think with a flat brush. I'm gonna lay down with this and then blend with something else. I'm gonna go in with the next shade, and I'm just gonna apply this shade to like the outer corner. Making sure I want to keep it mostly like the outer corner, and then as I blend, I think it will go into the crease a little bit, but it's not gonna be anything too crazy. I don't want my entire crease to be dark. And I'm going with another brush that's clean-ish and blending that out into the crease, making sure I keep it just on the outside. I really want to emphasize that. Using the same brush and the same shade, I'm just gonna add this to the outer third of the lower lash line to tie in the colors together. Now I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade in this palette. It's this one right here. And I'm gonna grab an even smaller brush. I'm just cleaning it a little bit because it has some residue from the last time I used it. And I'm just gonna grab the shade very sparingly. I'm going little by little, and if I need to add more, I can build up. You really wanna work with very, very little product. And I'm gonna be stamping where I put that liner as a base, and then keeping it to the outer corner. So going over the base of the liner, kind of smoking that out, and then outer corner. I want to keep this darker shade even lower than the other one, but I do also want to blend it in to the rest of what we're doing. And having the base of the liner before everything else makes it very easy to see where you want to place your shadow. But it also instantly darkens it because you already have that color there, so you don't have to work as much or add as much product. If you want to darken it, again, little by little, just add some more and blend, adding a bit of the same darkness to the lower lash line and connecting. This is a lot of blending, I will say. Like, for it to look good, you need to blend and trust the process. Now, I like the darkness like how it is here. I really like that. I feel like I might need a little bit of black, just like a smidge of black. I'm gonna go in with my Natasha Denona Biba palette, another of my favorites. And I'm just taking the black that's right here. And I'm taking an even smaller brush to concentrate this mostly on the lash line. I'm using a lot of my Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum brushes, by the way. Mainly keeping things to the lash line, literally, and just bringing it up the tiniest bit to blend in with that brown. Adding a bit of the black to the lower lashes, again, to connect everything. If you want this to just be a beautiful matte look, then I would say, like, keep it this way. Maybe add a little bit more of the shade of the shade we used for setting, the lightest shade, onto your lid to clean everything up. And I think it would be a beautiful, like, classic look. Me, personally, I need the sparkle. I need all the shimmer I can get. So I'm gonna be using a shimmer, and I think I'm going to be using, I don't remember which one I used. I think I used this one, the middle one right here. So I'm gonna go in with my finger first, and just applying this all on the lid and connecting it to the whole crease situation that we have going on. It might get a little messy, that's fine. Glitter is messy, but look at that. Ugh, glitter is just the answer to everything, I think. If you fuck up, or if you feel like your blending isn't looking great, just slap like a glittery shade on top, and it's gonna be concealed, trust me. I've done that so many times. I'm pretty sure I used another brush to like add some of the lighter glitter on top, this glitter. Okay, I'm gonna grab like a flat but fluffy brush. And I'm gonna go in with the other glitter, which is the lighter one that I just showed you. And going on top. And maybe, again, like, do you see this little like fold here? I'm adding it there because I really like how that looks. Before mascara, I'm gonna add a little bit of a nude liner to the waterline just to brighten things up. This is ColourPop Honey Dude. You guys know it's my one and only, it's my favorite. Just gonna add this to the waterline. Probably the brown migrated down a little, that's fine. I don't mind it. Now that that's on, the eyes definitely look a little brighter and more awake. I love that. When I did this look the first time, I used falsies, okay? I used like corner lashes, individuals in the corners of my lashes, and it totally transformed the look. I ran out of them. I don't have them anymore. So I'm just gonna have to do the look with mascara today. But if you want to take this to the next level, in an easy way, I think sometimes falsies can be very overwhelming, but if you don't want to fuzz with eyeshadow, if you feel like that's too much and you can't do that, just, you know, slap a little glitter and then a lash, and it's gonna look amazing either way. So let me just go in with mascara. For my lower lashes, I used Glossier Lash Slick in the shade Brown to make things a little softer. This is great. If you cry a lot, this is water activated, I will say. So if you like cry a lot, it's probably gonna come out, but it's very easy to remove. But if you don't tend to have that problem, this is not gonna smudge, it's not gonna flake, nothing's gonna happen. So that's why I chose this one. Only on the lower lashes. Now there we have it. It blends perfectly with the eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna let that dry for a second, and then I'm going in with the Essence I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. This is amazing. When I'm doing things like this, more dramatic looks, even if it is a soft glam, I do like more voluminous lashes. So this is just the perfect one for that. Again, if you're doing falsies, do your falsies and then your mascara so that everything blends together very, very beautifully. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this glitter. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do mascara. After a couple of coats of mascara, this is how we're looking. Amazing. Mascara makes the biggest difference. And again, if you want some falsies, then get yourself some falsies and transform this look even more. But yeah, these are the eyes done. I'm gonna take off the smudges and then continue, okay? For the complexion, again, focusing on layers to make things last as much as possible. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of underpainting, and then I'm gonna go on top with more powders. It can be excessive, but you can obviously make it look a little bit more natural. And if you're breaking out, don't worry about it, okay? We're not gonna cake on the foundation. That's not cool. I'd rather have the breakouts showing than making myself look like I have too much makeup on. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna be starting with a little bit of the color corrector. Let's go with that. I'm using the Becca color corrector or Becca Smashbox, I don't know. And I'm just adding a bit of this with a brush right under my eyes to cancel out any darkness that I may have. So a lot, because I have pretty bad under eyes. After that, I'm doing a little bit of contour with the Milk Makeup Toasted Sculpt Stick. And this is gonna be our first layer of cheek products. And I wanna keep it soft. That's why I'm doing it under my foundation, because I wanna sculpt, but I don't want it to look, you know, like a full-on stripe is there. Now I'm gonna do concealer, and this is gonna be my concealer slash highlighter for the rest of the face. I'm going in with a Lancôme Teint Idôle Ultra Wear All Over Concealer in the shade Buff. This is fantastic. It's super lightweight, but it has good coverage. And I'm gonna be adding this with a sponge. I feel like the sponge gives me the most control. It definitely soaks up the product, but it allows me to build up and not make things look cakey. Bringing it out here to the temple to further highlight that. And then I'm gonna go in directly from the wand, and I'm gonna apply a little bit here to highlight under the contour. It's not gonna be a crazy highlight. This is very similar to my skin tone, but it's just gonna clean up everything. Also a little bit here to the sides of the mouth and corners of the nose. And also, we're starting to patch things up there. It's gonna be painful, but it needs to happen. So let's blend. Being really careful around the huge zit, and I'm not expecting it to be covered completely, obviously. Before doing my foundation, I'm gonna add a bit of highlighter with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and I'm just adding this to the tops of the cheekbones and a bit to the nose and the upper lip. I'm doing this before so that it looks a little more natural, even though the product is already very, very like natural glow. For my foundation, I'm using the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. This is an N7 or 7N. And I love this because it is very, very full coverage, like insane full coverage, but it looks very natural on the skin. It is pretty dewy, so if you need something that's long lasting and you have oilier skin, definitely don't go in with this one, but I just need the tiniest bit. Again, I'm gonna be using a sponge. Not the best method for this foundation because it soaks up a lot, but it makes sure that I don't overdo it. So as you can see, that literally covered so much already. And we're taking it down to the neck. Now I'm gonna go in with the first blush of the look. This is the Rare Beauty blush in Grateful. This is, as you can see, very red, very intimidating. I get it, but it is very long lasting, and if you shear it out a lot, it is very, very nice. So I'm shearing it out on my brush, and then I'm just gonna be applying a little bit before I set my makeup. And I'm just applying this to the apples of the cheeks. And this is gonna make sure that my blush lasts long, because blush definitely is the first thing to go. Now, because this foundation is dewy, I definitely need to set it a lot. I'm starting off with the first layer of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And it doesn't mattify or anything, but it does make things last, and the oils kind of control themselves. So now, to do the rest, Hourglass Veil Powder. This is really good because it does set the face, but it doesn't look cakey. If you need something that's super intense, go do that, like definitely. But I have found that this one works very well for me, even though it's less intense. So on the areas like the under eyes, the T-zone, I'm gonna be baking a little bit, like a light layer of the bake. Don't do this if you feel like baking doesn't work for you, obviously. But I find that in moderation, baking works for me, so. And then I'm gonna go in with a brush for the rest of the face, which I don't wanna bake. Doesn't matter if I go a little over the blush. Now I'm gonna go in with a bronzer. This is the Hoola bronzer. It's a powder bronzer, and I love this because it is a bronzer and it can kind of work as a contour as well. So I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush and I'm just gonna go to town, kind of concentrated where I added that contour, but the brush is gonna help disperse this a little bit more and make it a bronzer as well. So as you can see, we're sculpting the face, but adding color, baby. It's time for more blush. And I'm gonna go in with the Patrick Ta Do We Know Her blush. And I'm just gonna use the powder and I'm using the same brush I used for the cream, cleaned it off a little, and I'm just gonna pick up this powder, again, tiny bit, and apply it on top. This is more of a peach, the other was more of a red, but it complements the other blush very well, and it looked gorgeous all night as I danced, and I didn't sweat a lot because it was cold, but I danced a lot, and the blush stayed intact. I'm just gonna add a few more freckles with the brow pen that I used, and I'm gonna just accentuate the freckles that I have. I'm gonna add a bit more of the setting powder, setting spray. For the lips, you can virtually do anything. Same for the blush. Like, you can go for something that goes with your skin if you want something more purpley or more pinky. You can literally choose whatever you want. I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil to line and contour the lips. And then I'm gonna go in with the About Face Lip Color Butter in the shade Nashi Pear, which is like a peachy, glossy shade. I always pick a nude because it's easier to reapply and it always goes with everything. So let's just line first. And then going in with the lip color. It's super nice and very glossy and comfortable, which is very important for me actually. And there we go, boom. Do you see how amazing this is? Yeah, I love it. I feel like it goes with everything. It goes so well. And that is it. That is the final look complete. I really, really love this look. Is it anything new? Not at all. It's very classic. I'm telling you, you can play with the shape of the eyes, you can play with the color of the lips, of the cheeks, but the base of this is very, very classic soft glam, and I think that's why it works on everybody, and that's why it's so easy to recreate, because you don't have any crazy liner, you don't have anything that is too hard to accomplish. It just builds confidence, it looks good. What more could you want from a wedding guest look? Okay, and that concludes today's video. I will say, looking at this, if you're a bride and you're looking for a makeup look, I think this could also work. Did I get any pictures of myself at the wedding with this look? No, I did not. Every picture turned out horrible, so enjoy this half-assed video of me showing my mom what I looked like. You can't really see the makeup, but this was the vibe, and I will say the makeup lasted 7+ hours. The only thing I needed to reapply was a lip. It was amazing. So I will definitely be rocking this look for many weddings to come. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if this hit the spot and if you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And hit subscribe down below if you're into super easy and real makeup and beauty content. I would love to see you right here week after week. But for now, this is goodbye. Thank you so, so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Mwah.